Hi, welcome to Forgotten Legends of Sound. Today we are just doing what we always do. This is an album review for Anacrusis. The album is Screams and Whispers. It's kind of a progressive metal, little bit of thrash kind of album. And it's something that's really interesting, and I only discovered these guys in the last couple years or so. I can't remember how I even got to them. I think it was through looking at Rate Your Music and checking out all these random lists, and I was like, oh, that looked interesting. But listening to them, that first song, Sound the Alarm, just really pulled me in. And as soon as I heard that song, I was like, this band is really cool. I got to listen to all their stuff and check them out and stuff. So their earlier stuff is a bit more thrashy, whereas this is a little more experimental and stuff. So if you like metal that's a little more weirder or just kind of like willing to experiment a little bit, you might dig these guys. And I think that they're kind of underrated. So
honestly, man, I think that the 90s is probably the most misunderstood metal decade. You know what I mean? Because you've got your 80s metal decade and everything, and if someone does something like this in 2010, it's like no big deal, whatever. But in the 90s, they were really doing a lot of experimental stuff,
Yeah.
and a lot of subgenres and things being created,
Yeah, everyone was pushing things beyond in the 90s.
It's just, I don't know, the 90s might be the most misunderstood metal decade, I feel like. I mean, a lot of people do love it, but I don't know, it just reminds me of where metal was not the 80s, and then in the 2000s, it's just the 90s is kind of that weird period.
Yeah.
For me personally, I've only gone through this album maybe once or twice, so I'm actually the one sitting in on this listening party, being the guy who doesn't know the songs real well.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to go through it with the lyrics and everything, because I'm curious to see like what these guys are going for.
Yeah.
It'll be, I mean, I don't know. Like I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
But,
you know what they
I
sound
wanna,
like
exactly.
and everything.
But I want to know like, oh man, why'd they do it this way? And oh man, like look at this lyric. It'll be interesting because I don't know lyrically what they're all about. You know what I mean? Because if you say, oh, they're like a thrash or prog, you conjure up into your head like certain lyrics that they're probably gonna do.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling this is gonna be something different.
I feel like a lot of their lyrics remind me a little bit of Chuck Schuldiner 90s lyrics.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Where it's like philosophy, society kind of lyrics and stuff and whatnot. But I mean, we'll let you guys be the judge of that, I mean, so yeah, we're gonna go through every track. We're gonna rate them 1 through 10, and then we're gonna just give kind of our overall score for this album. But I'm excited to get this one started. It's an awesome album, and it's kind of like I like some Voivod. Like I'm not a huge thrash guy, but some of the technical thrash, some of the experimental kind of thrash stuff some of it is pretty cool, and then some of it is a little too much for me. But these guys, when it comes to that kind of sound, I really, this might be one of my favorite. This one or Nothing Face from Voivod are probably my two like weird thrash prog metal albums or whatever from thrash bands. But
for me, like I remember there was a time where I was trying to get more into Coroner. I was trying to get more into like Mekong Delta.
Yeah.
Cyclone Temple was another one I was checking out. And I wanted to like get more into all the technical thrash stuff, but these guys I never really checked these guys out in the past.
And I never knew it. Like we heard of like some of those bands back in high school and stuff like 20 years ago, but these guys never came on our radar for whatever reason. And I don't really know why. Like even bands like Watchtower, we were listening to Breakdown, Warning, Nuclear Reality. We were listening to that stuff in high school. And then these guys, I have no idea. And they're on Metal Blade too. So I'm like, how did these guys like slip through the cracks? I have no idea. But I'm glad we found them now, like more recently. Like I'm glad that they're kind of, because the longer you're into music, sometimes it's like, it gets harder and harder to find something new or something that really impresses you. And finding these guys, I was kind of like, cool. They really impressed me a lot. So I think I'm not sure who all the band people are, but I know the singer guitar dude is Ken Nardi. So I think he's kind of the spearhead of the band. Okay. Granted, you guys could do your own research. Like you could read a Wikipedia, read whatever. But like I think he's the one that spearheads a lot of their direction and stuff. But I don't know. Everyone does a pretty good job on this, but I love Nardi's freaking vocals because he changes it up a lot. So, anyways, I guess we should probably just get going, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Hope you guys enjoy going through with us. This is actually the beginning of season 3 so to speak, for our videos and everything. So happy New Year to everybody, and yeah, man, let's just jump into
rolling.
it. Yeah.
Next year it might be a little sparse. You know, we may not have a ton of videos and stuff because we live in totally different places. So every time we're like together for the holidays, we try to crank out a ton so that we could then like release those, you know, in the following weeks or month or whatever. So we may not be able to get as much, and the channel, we don't know if it's going to be even around in a year. We don't really know.
Just playing it by ear.
Yeah, just play it by ear. But for now, I mean, it's fun to just do this, you know, like during the holidays. And so, I guess now that we have all of that out of the way, let's start with some Sound the Alarm from Screams and Whispers.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Here we go. Yeah, this is some dope stuff. I should probably move my phone out of the way. That's kind of a cool first line.
Yeah.
Lie to me honestly.
Yeah.
Gotta get that drink break before we start thrashing about. Woo! I suppose I'll go first.
Yeah.
You know, that song, I'm giving it a 10. I like that one a lot. There's, like, the way they go from the talking part to the bridge to the chorus, like, all of those parts just work very well. The only small complaint I would have is the guitar solo. I feel like the guitar solo could have been a little bit more, you know?
Right.
That whole, they're, like, doing that, you know? Because the guitar kind of just follows a little bit of the verse pattern, you know? And
Right.
but with that being said, like I still love everything about the song. It pumps me up. It introduces the album really well. It's definitely my favorite on this album. So yeah, what do you think?
I'm gonna give it a 9. This is the song that I remember the most. You've played it around me a lot.
Yeah.
And I do like what they're going for here. I like the tone on this album because it just reminds me of like the guitar work reminds me of like, yeah, some Death stuff, but also it reminds me of like Queensryche, Fate's Warning type guitars at times too, you know? Everything isn't so like heavy, brutal. It's still kind of that, you know, the amplifiers and everything is not quite what it is in the 2000s and 2010s. But I kind of like that, you know? I kind of like that, you know, because like, you know, back then this was like some real heavy, you know, stuff, you know? But yeah, I think the vocalist does a really good job of changing things up, you know, and I like the lyrics. I thought the lyrics were good. So,
I was really digging the lyrics a lot too. Like, I don't know, they're just really good, especially that line, another finger pointing mob with stones to throw, na, 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 and going into that part, like, I don't know, that part stuck out to me, you know.
I have a suspicion that these guys are going to be like, because they're kind of subdued with their sound, you know?
Yeah.
I have a feeling they're the kind of band that's not like totally in your face.
Yeah.
It's not like
it's
freaking,
not.
you know, they're not like, you know, right, you know, like they're much, they do seem, you know, they seem a lot more laid back. You know what I mean? Like it's still metal and everything, but they're much more laid back with the way they present, you know.
There's almost like a feeling of tension in the song rather than going all out, like being all brutal. There's
not
like this
release.
tension.
Just kinda,
It's like things are tense, you know, sound the alarm, like I don't know, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, that's why it's kind of like I hesitate to be like, this isn't like thrash like Testament or freaking some of those other thrash stuff. It has some thrash tendencies. And there's moments on this album that they'll bust out and stuff.
Right.
But for the most part, it's all this weird sort of kind of mid-tempo, weird sounds, you know, and I don't know. It's pretty cool still, though. You ready for Sense of Will?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here's track 2, Sense of Will. I know.
Would you say it's got more aligned with 45 versus anything else? Like,
I mean, for lack of any other comparisons I can make, you know.
Feels more like a thrash kind of riff.
Yeah, it does. This sounds like Voivod for sure, like the vocals and stuff.
Honestly, I might also like Fusion or Warrior, you know, like a more mid-tempo song there.
Yeah, like, yeah. everything in early 90s sounded like that.
Like if the vocals are different, I guess you just have the vocals. Yeah, the vocals was different, you know.
Yeah, the vocals really give it that sort of ominous vibe rather than the.
Whoops. You grabbed that quick.
Yeah, I didn't want the other one to start.
So before I give my rating, for all of you Anacrusis fans out there, like I said, this is like probably my third time going through this album. So I do think that there's room to grow for me to like really enjoy this album a lot. Just you know, just so you know. So I'm gonna give that one a 7. You know, I thought it was pretty good. You know, not my favorite, but like I said, it could grow. It just that's the thing when that's the problem I have with Fate's Warning too. Like I like Fate's Warning, but I have to be in the mood for that subdued kind of sound and presentation and stuff. So it can just feel a little like less impactful at times, you know. I think like the lyrics and music and stuff, I just didn't have as much impact like I did with track 1.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's things I really like about this song. I do think that riff is really good. But the vocal melodies and stuff aren't as engaging on this song for me. Like during the chorus, you know, like it's still great. And this song actually is one of my least favorite. This one and maybe Brotherhood and maybe A Screaming Breath are like my least favorites, but I still really like them. They're still really good songs. I was feeling an 8 because I was really into it while we're doing this. But whenever I'm on my own, this song usually is a little bit lower for me because it doesn't have as much interesting stuff as some of the other tracks do. But it's also one of the most straightforward songs on this album compared to all the other stuff, you know? So I could see how other people would probably like this one maybe the most because it's a little more riff-centered, you know? Less keyboard weird crap going on, you know? So I'm giving it a 7.5. Great song, but definitely not as, it doesn't pull you in just like track 1 does. And not as hookish, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, there's definitely room to grow for me, though. You know, like I know that these guys are interesting. You know, they definitely have a sound that is interesting to me.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they would ever be a band that, oh man, I freaking love Anacrusis, you know.
Like, oh, Anacrusis all the way.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere, right? So
yeah, yeah, true. And this is my first exposure to them. This album was, so you know, like I do like their other stuff, but this one I think is always probably gonna be my favorite because it's like, come on, man. Right. You ready for track 3? Too Many Prophets?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one does have some start-stop kind of stuff.
See, this sounds more like Doom to me.
Yeah, more Doom. If they just and then the whole time it's like, oh, sorrow voice, you know, and it'd be like, yeah, it's Candle Master, you know.
Yeah. I was thinking like Acid Rap would have that kind of but they wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah, they wouldn't start doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. There's something out there. Like that's just really enjoyable to me, you know? Like it's kind of cool. But I can see why it turns some people off and be like, you know. All the drums. Back to that doobie hole. Curious your thoughts on this one afterwards, because they take a left turn.
I do remember this song.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've got a question for you, Kevin. Did going all thrashy for the last little bit, did that hurt the song or help it? Or what are your thoughts on that? Because, I mean, I'm kind of curious your thoughts on that before I, go into what I like or whatever.
I'm not sure. I lean towards maybe it hurting the song a little more.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I guess, like, I wanted there to be maybe a lyric or something explaining the
sudden change in music.
Because it seems kind of like out of nowhere for me.
Yeah.
Like, it just sort of happens, but I don't know if it really added to all the lyrics in the song,
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, that's the thing, is it's kind of like, I feel like it doesn't fit, but I enjoy the fast part so much because the soloing I really like during it. Yeah. So I'm kind of like, I mean, if you're going to like ruin your song and do something totally whatever, then at least fill it with a bunch of cool stuff so that it's like more enjoyable, Like I'm kind of like, some days I like it, and then other days I'm kind of like, I don't know, I like that sort of brooding vibe that they're going for with the whole, like if it was just that whole bit, through the whole song, I think that'd be cool. But then again, I don't know, maybe it does kind of help the song in some ways because it makes it end on a very energetic way. I don't know. I can see it both ways. I guess maybe I'm not so strong. I give it a 9 because I think it's a great song, but I just wonder, like, it's such a weird kind of song that I'm kind of like, it goes from this doomy little bit to all this weird, like, it's just a kind of weird song, but it's really enjoyable because it's pretty unique, I guess. I think it's got a lot of creativity, and that pumps it up a lot for me.
Right.
Execution wise, maybe it's kind of like, I give it high marks for its creativity, even if it wasn't executed perfectly.
Yeah. I kind of see what you mean. I early on for the first half of the song, I'm thinking, like 7.5. But then by the end of the song, I was a little bit disappointed. I'll give it a 6. I do think it is above average, but I just think that some of the direction and like I said, it's got room to grow for me, but I think some of the direction just wasn't as interesting for me. Like I liked the verse part the most in the song, but the like that
didn't as much.
Well, that like rhythmically I didn't care for it rhythmic. So rhythmically, I understood like what they're going for, but I just didn't care for the rhythm as much. Like I guess I wanted something. It's a bit of a start-stop rhythm. You know what I mean? I wish maybe the bass guy could do something maybe a little more funky during some of those sections, like. I don't know, like it was just a bit static. I guess
it is very like, and they do have a little bit in this album. There's parts on it that just don't sound very fluid. It sounds almost mechanical because it is kind of like, I don't know. I think the drummer kind of adds to that because sometimes he'll be like, and he'll do things like that where you're kind of like, this is not giving it like any groove at all. This is almost like anti-groove kind of playing.
And don't get me wrong, like there is a lot of that in much more like prog metal music. This start-stop, staccato stuff. I just wish that, lyrically, I just wanted something a little bit more connection for the music and the lyrics. I like the way that he kind of talked it out. Too many prophets, so many questions. So many footsteps. I like that ominous ending. I like that, but I felt like everything that they did before didn't really culminate to that ending. Yeah. So I don't know. I do think this song had a lot of potential and everything. I just question the execution, I guess. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what time brings when we do this album again in 20 years.
And who knows? Maybe it'll be one of those albums where I was like, man, I was kind of harsh or something. But I don't know.
But that's the thing, is it's cool just getting that. I know you've heard it before, but this initial impression is really what we're in.
Plus, like when we were doing Thought Chamber and stuff, there were some songs that I was giving 6.5 and stuff, and I'm thinking like, well, did I like this song more than that song? And I'm like, not really. The same. Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's just. Yeah, I like what they're
too nice to Thought Chamber. No,
well, it's like that
album was really good.
It's like I like what they're doing, but I'm not just gonna throw out 8s and 9s and stuff just because I'm kind of happy that they're doing something that other people don't do, or you know what I mean. Like
All right, man, you can throw a couple out.
So, I'm not sure there's going to be a 10 for me in this album, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I mean, honestly, if track 1 didn't get a 10, then I don't think anything else probably will. You know.
Does other songs get a 10 for you? Like, are there other masterpieces?
You know,
I guess we'll find
track
out.
Yeah, I really like My Soul's Affliction a lot. And
Grateful was pretty cool at the beginning and stuff.
Yeah, I think Grateful's pretty good. Tools of Separation and My Soul's Affliction are other two that I'm kind of like, those are pretty banging. Yeah. You know, but I don't know if I'd give those 10s though. I mean, I might have even given Too Many Prophets a little too high. Maybe I'll give 8.5 to that one because it is kind of weird. Yeah. But it's still a really awesome song.
Watch, I'm like, the execution, guys. Let's do In a Flesh Aquarium. Yeah, you know, you know, I don't know, man. Everyone has their own interests,
and things, and also how many times you've heard something can affect it too. You know, like that's the thing is like when we do these with Chad's like, this is like cold take every album because I haven't listened to this album on my own, you know, and we're like, I get it, like, you know, this is just the first impression, and it's hard to like love something right away too. That's really rare when that happens, you know. Should we move on to Release?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here is Release.
Is this song like the most popular song on the album or no?
I'm not sure.
Why did they do the remix?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. All the melodic bits on this album, probably. More majestic singing. Right, yeah. This one definitely is more epic. fudging nardy, man. Gnarly nardy, man.
Hey, what time does school get out? I don't know, man. I never stayed till the end.
Awesome, man. Yeah, Three Ninjas, masterpiece.
I'm going to give that one a 7.5. I think this is my second favorite so far on the album. I really like a lot of the talking parts on this album. You know, the talking parts are really, you know, interesting. But then I lose it a little bit with some of the choruses or you know, some of that. But you know, I like what they're going for with this song.
Yeah, they tend to do like more melodic bits than the talking part, and then like the harsh vocals and stuff during the choruses and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm giving that one a 9. I think I like it a little bit more than Too Many Prophets. It's a great song. It's not a 10 or anything, but man, that verse says na 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 na. It's so gloomy. It's such a gloomy sounding song. I think it sounds cool.
Forever living in, forever dying. And the key changing. The shadow one. You know, it's
killing cross.
It's that's the interesting part.
Accountable, sworn to bear the burden. You know, it's just like it's just so ominous. Like and this one, along with track 1, had probably some of my favorite lyrics. Like the part where he says, "But I can't be responsible for changing the unchangeable, and won't to ourselves we overlease." You know, he's just like, man, we're like incarcerating ourselves,
you know,
ourselves, destroying ourselves.
Nietzsche said that.
It's like Fish Called Wanda.
Yeah.
Keeps like Nietzsche says. Nietzsche didn't say that every man for himself. Yeah. Oh man, Fish Called Wanda.
No, but the lyrics are good.
The lyrics are really good.
And yeah, like, should we blame ourselves? Do we crucify ourselves?
Again,
and release.
Yep. Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta go out and get yourself like some ice cream or something.
Yeah. Get some ice cream, Get that release. Maybe I'll do an 8.5.
They do a good job of having this pressure in their music, you know, of this sort of this feeling and this pressure in their music. They do a good job with that. You know?
It hits the certain vein that when you're in the mood for this, you could just kind of the album goes and you're just kind of digging it all, you know. I'll leave it at a 9. I think that one is pretty good. I don't know. 9 is. I'll go 8.5. I think I like it kind of similar to track 3 because I don't know. It's hard. I feel like I'm wondering if track 3 is a little too high, but now I'm kind of like, no, track 3 is pretty freaking cool, man. Like I'll 8.5 for both of them. Fudge it. We'll do it live. Fudge it.
Wild people
stuff.
Every day.
Yeah, I know. Wild people every damn day. All right, you ready for division?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it's just so moody. Like, it's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this picture. Like, that kind of fits what you're going for with this kind of dark, kind of moody.
Looks like a death metal album, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
See, some of this does remind me of Acid Bath. Acid Bath would do stuff like this.
It'd just be slower and more bluesy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it also feels more country. Acid Bath felt a little more country here. It's like closer.
Yeah. To that kind of sound.
Yeah.
To me, this sounds so boy body. It's just very boy body. All space, mentalism, you know.
And it's pretty quick.
Yeah. I know, they're just... Lost in Space, man.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. But this is you, man.
Yeah, I really like that one, but I don't think I like it. I think I kind of like it on par with number 2. The chorus is the weaker part for me, but I really enjoy the sort of, you know, like I like the ominous vibe in the talking part. No, I like track 2 more. I think I'll give this one a 7. The chorus part is just a little bit more like bland. It's a great song, but it's not as good as the first 4 to me. What do you think?
I'm going to give it a 5. I do think this song's just kind of average for me. It didn't really do too much, you know. It was a lot quicker, but I don't know. I don't really have much to say because I wasn't feeling like too many of a lot of the parts. I don't think it's a bad song or anything. Yeah. I just think that this one's been my least favorite so far because at least with track 3, there were moments in track 3 that I was like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You know, but this song just kind of came and went and didn't really leave much of an impression on me.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll do 6.5. I know it seems like I'm listening to you and then I keep lowering my score every time you start saying stuff, but I'm trying to just kind of gauge how I feel because it's the thing is it's more like sometimes you're just like excited to do an album and you're just having fun and you're not thinking all objectively and stuff and I think it's a good song, but I think it is a step lower than track 2.
2's of Separation.
Tools
of Separation. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Think for yourself.
Yeah, but I just don't have much to say about Division. It just didn't really leave an impression.
Yeah. It also takes its time because there's a lot. It keeps doing that.
Yeah.
And then it like goes back into that before we go to the first chorus. And it's kind of like, did we need to really go back to that? I don't know. Right. I don't know. Maybe we did. I didn't think so, but maybe we did. You ready for Tools of Separation?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is pretty dope though.
Red flag and blue, yellow. I know, right?
I know.
Right?
The way it slows down and just goes into that crowd. Yeah. Wild. I see blue. Lead in a champagne bath.
Yeah.
It's like the lyrics but backwards, I think.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Were people scared back in 1992?
Yeah, they thought it was like,
really
oh,
scared.
you know, like unalive yourself. And, you know, they thought it was saying crap like that,
Yeah,
you
like-
know, and just like, you know, worship, you know,
Yeah.
you know, all this stuff.
Yo,
And
the
people were
90s
like,
were different, man.
I know.
I'll tell you.
I
like,
remember when
they-
the parents were just like, Anacrusis,
Yeah.
those lyrics, you know.
Look, you know, the keeper of the seven keys, look, he's handing the key to the devil. Yeah, people were wild back in the day.
Yeah,
man.
I loved Judas Priest's defense. Where like, why would we, if we could put subliminal messages in our albums, wouldn't we put to buy more stuff, buy more
like-
albums or whatever
like, yeah.
instead of like kill yourself? You know, like
That's
you know,
like
just
just like thank you for smoking. Like we want little Johnny to live, you know,
Yeah.
so you can buy more cigarettes.
yeah. Do they say that in that movie?
Yeah. They're like, you know, the health people, you know, they want them to stay sick so that they can make money off it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie. I remember it being pretty good, but I
Yeah.
don't remember much about it.
Like we want little Johnny to
Still be healthy so you can buy more cigarettes.
crazy. I'm gonna give that one a 6. I liked it similar to track 3. The problem that I have with this song is it's too long. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's too long. It does sort of plod along, you know, and I don't like this band. Like going through it, it does remind me, like whenever we reviewed Acid Bath, this album has moments that remind me of Acid Bath, you know, just sort of the approach, I guess. I wouldn't say that they're doomy. I wouldn't say that they're, you know, nothing like that. I wouldn't even say that they're quite like Southern, you know,
No.
Southern at all or anything. It's just there's something about the tone that reminds me of them,
Yeah.
you know. But, I mean, yeah, pretty good song. I do think above average, but, you know, it didn't blow me
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it is too long. That chorus is really good, but some of the other parts aren't as engaging. And they do stuff way too often, you know. It's like they do the verse section 3 times, they do the chorus 3 times. They do that part that's after the chorus like 3 times, you know. and then that part where they just go and then go kind of, that part's a little jarring, and if they had some way to transition in a more fluid way instead of just doing that, might have been better. I still give it an 8. I still really enjoy it, and I love that freaking chorus. I think it's awesome, but it's not as strong as I remembered. I think I liked 3 and 4 more than Tools of Separation, but still a great song. But I agree, it is too long. Kind of like that ominous sort of ending. It's kind of cool, but it adds another 45 seconds that is just kind of like, you know, is it that cool? Is it cool enough for like almost another minute? I don't know. You be the judge. You ready for the next song, Grateful?
Yeah, let's do it.
Grateful. Yeah, this one is good. Are you surprised that you remember a lot of this album, kind of?
Yeah, I remember a lot more than I thought I would.
cool ending there.
Yeah.
I think for that one, I think I'm gonna give. Oh, I gotta stop this. I think I'm gonna give that one a 7.5. Thinking back to track 2, I think I'm raising that one back up to an 8. I think that one's a little bit better. This one 7.5. I don't think it's as good as like maybe Tools or the first 4 songs, but I still really like it. It's got a great riff there, but some of the it feels a little meandering sometimes. Like it could have been shorter. Yeah, especially during the whole Grateful part. It just kind of drags that part on a little bit too long for me. But I still think it's a great song. But, maybe it's less catchy, I feel like, than some of those other songs for me, too.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm going to give it an 8. This song just does a good job of leaving an impression on you. That's the one thing that I think this song does really well, is just leaving an impression. Now, I do wish that the song was more solemn. I do wish that they, went into more, like, I don't know. I liked everything that they were, like, doing. I just kind of wanted more, and I wanted more of, like, I wanted more information for the whole lyrical message and everything, you know? And I don't know. I feel like this one could have been much more of, like, an epic, because it had the makings of an epic. But, yeah, I don't know. I liked this one. I thought it was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm surprised, but that's cool. We got to get those 8 somehow. I mean, if it's the songs I don't care as much for, so be it.
I don't know. I kind of liked it. I liked it, and as it's going, I was just enjoying it.
Getting even lost in the song, you might say.
Yeah, it kind of draws you in. Like that song really just kind of drew you in.
Yeah.
So,
you ready for a Screaming Breath?
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the Cure song. You ready? Yeah, of course you are.
For the Screaming Breath?
Screaming Breath.
Screaming Breath?
Screaming Breath. There's like a song from The Cure called like a baby scream or whatever, and anyways, this song made me think of that for some reason. I have no idea. Some free form association. I don't know. All right, here we go. Here's the Screaming Breath. They're like, I don't know why we introduced that song that way. I like when the bass guy could like shine a little bit. song to cover, I feel like. All the weird timing and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, there were some 5s and, you know, and a 3 and then another 5 and yeah, that was fun. That was a cool song, man. I'm going to give that one an 8.5. That was dope, man. Screaming, rapping and screaming. Oh, and it had like that menacing bass and stuff. Like, I don't know, that was a cool song, man. I you know, I got lost in it the same way that but Grateful was cool too, but I have less to complain about this one than Grateful. So, yeah, I think I do like it a 0.5 more. Like, I don't know. Like, I was telling Ian, like, while the song was going, it reminds me of, like, something odd that would be on, like, Manticore's Darkness with Tales to Tell or something, where it's like the song Critical Mass, where it's got kind of a weird time signature. Yeah, some
unsteadiness vibe.
And I feel like it just adds to the identity of the song.
Like an automaton. Sounds like a very automaton-y.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. So I like that one.
There's something about the chorus, and here's one thing about like different time signature things. Like sometimes if you do a weird time signature, but then you have like this normalcy afterwards, it could feel like an extra relief. You know, like when you have something more complex and then something that's easy to kind of latch onto, it almost makes the latching onto it even better, you know? So like the part at the end of that part where he says, deliberately, we disguise ourselves to protect our failing emotions. And to me, that's like the release of it, because it's all like this start, you know. I don't know all the time signature of it, but you know what I mean? Like, there's something that it just feels like complete with that for me. Like, it just sounds good. It sounds good to my ears. That song was better than I remembered too, because all I remembered like before we went was the screaming Brad. And I'm like, okay, yeah, screaming Brad. Okay. And I'm like, yeah, it's not as good as the others, you know. But I don't know, it is a fun song. It definitely has its place. Looking at my scores, I feel like, man, I have no idea how to freaking rate this album because it's such a like, sometimes some things stand out more at times, and sometimes you know,
not so much another time.
Other times, yeah, it's and I feel like this album is like, my scores are not reflecting how I thought I would feel, like, at all. Yeah. Like, I thought like the highs would have been higher, but then the highs are actually lower, and then the ones that were lower, I feel like are a little higher. Yeah. You know, so I'm kind of like, man, I got to rethink how I think about this album. Like, it's
going through it with lyrics with me, because this is the first time you've gone through it with lyrics with me. Am I kind of painting a different perspective on this? Because like for track 7, we were talking about how it could have been like a Yakuza track or something. Yeah. You know, like, am I messing with your score a little bit?
Messing with my score, you're messing with it.
Or at least the way you view the album, are you kind of viewing it in a different way through our conversation?
I think so, maybe. I mean, I think that's possible, because like...
I know for me, like, this is a different experience than the first 2 times that I went through. But then again, this is the first time I've had it with lyrics too.
Yeah.
So.
And the time you're listening in your truck, like, you were like listening to it like distantly, so there's some things you couldn't hear in it.
Yeah, I was driving, so...
That was the time that me and Chad were doing it with lyrics and you were driving, so you weren't able to kind of take it all in like we were. Yeah. But I don't know, this is one of those albums that I have a feeling years from now I might even have a different appreciation of songs even down the road. Like, even though I've heard this album plenty of times, I'm wondering if like it's still not cemented in my mind. Like, there's other albums where I've loved them for like 20 years or whatever, and I'm like, yep, this is the obvious 8, this is the obvious 10. Like, everything is like set in stone, and maybe this album's not set in stone for me. But and I guess I'm putting Release up to a 9, man. Like, that one was pretty freaking dope. Like, I don't know. Okay, I'm leaving this one maybe an 8.
Yeah, do you think Screaming Breath was better than you thought it'd be, I guess?
It is better than I thought it'd be, for sure. But at the same, I don't know, it's an 8 though. because it's like the thing I like about is the whole down 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 down. Like, I don't know, it is a pretty good.
Okay, let me put it this way.
Like, it's an 8.
Let me put it this way too. This song I felt like had really good transitions. Yeah. Whereas some of the other songs have like messed up transitions and parts where you're like,
and this is like the proggiest song.
And it's the proggiest,
but they took care of it.
But because it feels very much like set into that weirdness kind of. It flowed really well for
a proggy weird song. Yeah,
and the cool thing about music is like, when you listen to a lot of music and listen to a lot of bands and everything, you start to pick up on certain tricks, I'll call it, tricks that the bands will do. Like for me, when I listen to Symphony X, I'm like, oh, whoops, my bad. When I listen to Symphony X, I'm always thinking like, this is the 7/8, like 7s and 8s throughout their music. Oh, here's a 5 and then a 6, and then we've got 7s and 8s. Like they love their 5s, 6s, 7s, and 8s. But they'll go through a song where it's like they'll slip and do a 7 and it throws people off. But it's like, yeah, but they've done this in like 5 different songs. Yeah. And so you'll especially when they have a large in their bag. Yeah, exactly. Especially for like, but it also, when I love Symphony X, when I listen to their music and stuff, it's just it adds like punch, it adds oomph, because like that song like Karen, that song Karen is such a great groove song. Yeah. And adding those 7s and everything makes it like a little more groovy and everything. Yeah. And I feel like this song, Screaming Breath, just did a good job with the rhythm and everything of it. Yeah. Like they didn't stray, they didn't screw themselves up, like they didn't try and throw me off, but it was still,
So one thing that I didn't want to mention it before the video because I didn't want to predispose any kind of whatever, I wanted to just see what you would think right away. Yeah. One thing that I thought I was going to hear was I thought you were going to be like displeased with the drummer or like some of the weird things that he does because of some of the, kind of stuff, Yeah. So I was kind of like, I wonder, but I guess this drummer, like he hasn't been very displeasing, or at least not enough to...
But to me, this guy still feels much more of like a single bass pedal guy. Like he'll do double bass stuff, but he loves his like dotted quarter note type notes and stuff, or like triplets. He loves his triplets and dotted quarter notes and all that stuff. And I like it because it reminds me a bit of like, I feel like this guy's like if John Bonham or something was like metal, because there's parts where it's like do, 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 or like do, 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 it just he's not like a surfer, not a rock drummer per se, but he's not doing a lot of stuff that like maybe the Opeth drummer guy. He's not with them anymore.
Michael Axelrod or something. I don't know. There was like
Martin,
3.
It was like Martin something.
Martin something. I thought there was like 3 Michaels.
Yeah, I know. There could have been.
No, Symphony X has like 3 Michaels.
Oh yeah. Michael Lepon, Michael Canella, and Michael Romeo. Yeah.
But go on, though.
Anyways, because like he'll do a little bit more double bass with his like technicality and stuff. So I'm not seeing much technicality with double bass. Yeah. But he is more technical with his with his single foot and his snare placement, along with and he'll do more with the hi-hat than I thought he would. I honestly thought there'd be more double bass in this album. There's not a whole lot of double
there's
bass.
Not a lot. And they're not thrashing it out a ton, and it's just kind of weird. Like it's a different kind of album. But anyways, that's why I didn't want to bring it up before, because I didn't want to poison the conversation of so what do you not just tell me already? What do you not like about the drummer?
I like the drummer for sure. I like the drummer because I do feel like he's approaching this album in a different way, because I feel like there are things that he could have done differently, but I don't fault him for his choices. I like that. Like I guess I feel like this guy's comfortable in the and areas of measures and stuff and playing. And
interesting.
So that's just my impression. This is my 3rd time going through the album, so anyways. But I'm happy with all of the musicians in this album. Honestly, I thought that I would like the vocalist more. Like he's the one that I'm like least happy with as time goes on. Yeah. But the
in
person,
the beginning, you're kind of
dude, this guy is great. Yeah. And I'm not saying he's bad. Yeah. But honestly, I feel like maybe the bass players shine the most for me. Yeah. He does a lot of interesting stuff that I'm like, cool, okay. Like, and there's moments where I do feel like this could have.
He's like a fan of the atheist bassist.
Exactly.
Exactly. They just like that technical kind of vibe.
Like there's parts where I'm like, dude, if this bass guy was going further and if they were heavier, I could see that
fitting with any tech death kind of.
Help me out, the death bassist guy, the famous.
Oh, Steve DeGorgio?
Yeah.
I thought he played in Atheist too, but
maybe so.
He's played in like every freaking tech death thing. I don't know.
Some of these guys have just been all over the place,
Yeah.
and they're But anyways, I'm happy with this group. I'm happy with all the musicians, and I like what they put together. But I don't know if I'm ever gonna like love this album, but I respect it. You know what I mean? So
that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know if this album will ever be like a masterpiece for me.
Right.
But it's a really dang good album, and I was just like, more people gotta talk about it. Like, it's pretty cool.
And honestly, for me, like some of the songs that I gave a 5 or a 6 or whatever, you know, like Screaming Breath and some of these other songs will lead me in, and then some of those other songs, as I go through the album might grow. Exactly. So
yeah, true. You ready for My Soul's Affliction, track 9?
Yeah,
I like this one a lot. This one's pretty dope. My Soul's Affliction. Man, I keep on wanting water, but it's empty. Once the video's done. Something that's the thing, is that part's like, like intuitively, I feel like it's like, you know, and they just push it up. Yeah, but
I'm liking the bass
song
guy
really
more and
freaking
more
good.
and more though. Like, you know.
Yeah, man, that one is
yeah. This
awesome.
is your.
Oh,
your
this is
song.
my turn.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah, I think I'm giving a 9.5 to that one. I know I get the timing crap off on it, but I just love how ominous that freaking chorus. This silence, this silence. Right, this silence, right. You know, like it's so freaking cool, and I love the whole. Nothing inside. White. You know, like it's cool how he emphasizes certain words, and it's such an interesting song. The chorus is freaking. It's the source. The chorus is more crushing sounding, and I don't know. I think this is probably my second favorite track. What do you think, Kevin?
I'm leaning between an 8 and an 8.5. Did I like it more than Screaming Breath?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll give it an 8.5. I liked it similar, but honestly, like Screaming Breath had like a lot of 5s, and this song had a lot of 3s and a lot of 5s. So I feel like, you know,
the album
they
is
were
like
similar.
proggy in the last end.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm like, but honestly, that's like Darkness with Tales to Tell. I feel similarly, where right when Critical Mass hits, and like Lost Souls and everything, I'm just really rocking out to that album. And not to say that the first half is not good or anything. You know, I like, you know, the rest of the album, but it's just, I don't know, maybe this might be more of a second half kind of album for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Driven is pretty good. Brotherhood is a weaker song, but we'll wait for that. I don't know. I might just really like it, and then I'm like, I think it's a weaker song, but it's actually like a really good song. I don't know.
Sorry, those who, if you saw our Thought Chamber video, there's a part in like Through the Eyes of It or Ick or whatever, where it's like, and so whenever there's like, I was like playing that, and I don't know, there's just something that reminded me of the syncopation and whatever. Anyways, drive on to Driven.
Drive on, you big stupid idiot. All right, here is Driven.
It's a mad world. Yes, it is.
I love it. Don. See, Rita, like, yeah, it is. Yeah, something.
They go back to that beginning kind of riff thing, Yeah, I think it's your turn.
What'd you think of Driven?
I don't know.
Driven, I will be.
I'm not sure. Maybe I did like it a little more than. I'll give it a 6.5. I think I did like it a little bit more than Division and Tools of Separation.
Yeah.
But not by a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Honestly,
still one of the weaker ones. Well, actually, maybe the middle.
Maybe like Too Many Prophets. Maybe change Too Many Prophets to a 6.5 also. I feel like maybe that one was a little bit better than like Tools of Separation.
That one was
like,
good.
You know, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. I you know. But not much to say about this song. I feel like this song is a little bit of stuff they've already done on the rest of the album.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like,
not really paving too many new grounds or anything.
Yeah.
Ain't no Screaming Breath. I mean, you know.
Yeah, no Screaming Breath.
I do really like that one. I'm like wondering if I should. No, I'll give it an 8. I do like that song, and I liked how the parts lead into each other. Excuse me, I really like the talking part a lot. The chorus is pretty good. Maybe it's not as good as some of the higher ones, but it's kind of maybe one of the middle songs for me. It's good.
A little bit too long.
Yeah, a little too long. Yeah, because dude, that was almost 6 minutes. Yeah, a little tad too long. This next one is definitely a little too long. It's like 7 minutes. But I shouldn't just rag. Why do I just rag on things, right?
Yeah,
Why do I rag on things? Give it a chance.
Give it a chance.
Yeah, let's see. So here's Brotherhood. Here's the last track.
Yeah, let's see.
I gotta stop being so negative on this Brotherhood song.
Yeah, let's just see what happens. You know, anything can happen.
Okay, you ready for Brotherhood?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here it goes.
Sounds great so far.
I know. No, it has some great stuff. It has some great stuff. But there's this bit that last like minute. They just wait. Just wait. I like his voice here too. His voice is cool. Definitely feels like a closer though. Like they do this bar at the very end too, and it just feels. We'll just let it go.
I can see that being a
yeah, a little, like it drags on too long.
It's like you think it's gonna go like straight up like much more somber and stuff. I don't know. It's between somber and
yeah. But the beginning is great. Like the first half is all great. Septic Flesh. Some horror metal right here. Nah.
Yeah.
Before it gets
great massive death.
Yeah.
You do kind of repeat it also.
Yeah. You see what I mean? Like this last like I don't know, 2 minutes just really.
Like this. Well, I'm not sure at the end, but. Yeah, interesting. I guess you
Very
go first,
interesting
bro.
song. That song, the first half is really good. Like, not gonna lie, I really like the first half. But the second half just meanders and it goes on too long and it just keeps on repeating that sort of. I felt like that melody was good to build up the song into the talking part again. But then it wasn't good to like exit the song also. You know?
I had similar feelings where I feel like if you're gonna go mama, no, I feel like that's more of a bridge melody to lead you to something better. But that was the main melody, and I was just like, I wanted it to be mama, and then go into something. Yeah, like I felt like it was more of a connecting melody, not a main melody. So I don't know why they kept going back to it. Like, but maybe they were just really imprinting that whole bottom. You know, like I mean, I don't know, but I'm not sure.
A part of me wonders too, because like the last like 2.5 minutes, there's like no lyrics, and I wonder if would have been better if they had gone back to one of these things. Like, what if they went back to the beginning part again? For all our wanderings, we still so far to go. Na 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 na. I don't know. What if they ended it with that whole melody thing? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how to fix this song, to be honest.
I just know
either. that it needs to be fixed. Like,
I love the way that it just started and went straight into it. It sounded so great, and there was much more like synth, less kind of brass kind of thing. If that makes sense.
Can I just play just a little bit of that beginning again? Because this beginning really is freaking good. Like, and it like ushers in the song so freaking well. If they had something, maybe a stronger, some sort of stronger refrain to go back to.
See, this is just I guess that is amazing. Like,
because they do that sort of melody kind of in that chorus part where you know, like that's kind of like the thing. It's like that's the stronger melody more so than the dun dun na 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 na. You know, like that's a connecting melody. You know, like
I wanted them to bring back those synths because it was more so the guitar doing that. You know, it wasn't as
less synth heavy.
Once
the guitars and drums and everything came in.
You know, it just I don't know.
I don't know. I wonder if like after they're like, should we force a brotherhood? Instead of going into the whole, you know, instead of doing that, maybe go into a shredding solo and then go into another chorus little bit. Or if you go back to that connecting thing, back into that again and then ending it. I don't know.
I would have been happy with no solo. I would have been happy with just kind of staying with that whole, staying with the, staying like with that, and then just ending, like keeping the song full of the synth the whole time. Just as a closing, like something like Longing. I would have been okay with something like
ballad? What if it was, you know, and you don't even have to bring in guitars and all that stuff.
Right.
You just have this kind of be in the little bit, and then when we're getting closer to the truth, and then you just have a.
I mean, of course, you and I, we would want it to just go into more melody and everything,
and then it goes back into the for all our wonder, you know, going back into the wandering, you know, with different lyrics or something. That way it's more of a ballad song.
For me, when a song is melodic and then they lose the melodic melody as they go, I'm disappointed. If the song starts off not as melodic, but then it builds and then it ends melodic, I'm like, wow, great, you know. Like I don't like the inverse.
Of the song because it sort of devolved.
Like it devolves. It just
and I don't know. I feel like it's maybe on par with Division for me. I mean, I like Division sort of, but I don't know. But if it didn't have that crappier ending, it would have been more 7.5-ish and 8 maybe, you know.
So you give it a 6.5?
I give it a 6.5. I feel like the song kind of shot itself in the foot a little bit.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.5 also. I liked it similar to track 10, but I feel like this song was more memorable for me. But I feel like this one made more mistakes than track 10. It's just that track 10 was more forgettable to me. Like less risky, I guess, or something, you know. I'm gonna just add up the scores while you just go on about, like, I don't know, Prague or something. No, I'm joking. You know, Kevin, talk about drums and stuff. Talk about, you know, like Prague and no, I'm joking. I mean, I'll share my closing thoughts. Like, I'm glad we went through this album. I understand a little bit better of what they were going for, especially having the lyrics to help me, you know, see what. Because, like,
I hope that wasn't too.
You're fine. You know, I just, but like I said, man, in the beginning of this video, I talked about how the 90s is like the most misunderstood decade when it comes to metal music. I like that bands like this and other bands were trying new things. We're trying to branch out, and I'd rather have bands try and fail, so to speak, than to never have tried at all, or to only be safe and like whatever. And so I like this decade of music for metal because I feel like it's the most like daring, especially when it wasn't like as popular, you know. And it's just, there was a lot of diehard, true-blooded metal people that put out offerings, even though they knew that it was like, it was not going to stick. It was not, you know. And I'm just like, man, that's awesome, dude. And so that's one reason, like, we want to do this channel is we want to keep bands alive and talk about them. And I don't want like band members like this to be like, yeah, I once had a band, you know, way back when, you know what I mean? It's like creating a living memory. It's like we can all just remember it and be like, oh yeah, great, and never forget. So I'm glad I'm glad we went through this album. I enjoyed it, you know, and I'd probably listen to it on my own, you know, but yeah, it's got its flaws for me, but that's just me personally, you know. Yeah. So and the other thing too is like definitely support the artists, you know, buy the albums and stuff, because to help keep bands alive, you know, you gotta support them. So
gotta support them.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, so I'm gonna just share I'll just share my thoughts, then I'll share the score, and then we just close it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think the album does have its mistakes for sure, but at the same time, it is very ambitious. They do a lot of really cool things, a lot of interesting things, especially for the time. I don't know, it's a really cool. There's not a ton of albums that fit this sort of vibe for me, I guess, you know, like they do enough interesting things that because even though me and Kevin will mention this reminds me of this band, it's kind of like, yeah, but none of those bands are like this though. Like they do it in a way that's just still unique to their own, you know, and I really like it. Sound the Alarm, man, it's freaking sick. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't have too much to add other than what we had talked about in the songs, you know. I think it's kind of an underrated album. I was surprised that it eluded us for many years, you know.
Yeah. And the thing too is like we don't know everything. We're like some regular guys who just love music and stuff. We're not like freaking classically trained or whatever. Yeah. But I mean we like sharing our thoughts, and we're hopefully you guys got something out of this that like you can't get anywhere else, you know.
Gosh dang it, I am smart, okay? No, it's okay. Trailer Park Boys. Yeah. No, it's true. Like, yeah, we're not pretending to know every inside and out of everything, but it's fun to do these albums that we don't see a lot of people are doing, you know. It's fun to just hopefully other people that are like, oh man, I love Anacrusis, and you know, not a lot of people are talking about them. Hopefully this will be something that the fans of this band will kind of enjoy, you know.
Our channel is like not for the masses, you know. It's for that one guy who lives alone in some place that he's the only one. Yeah, he's the only one that likes Anacrusis, and he doesn't know anybody else who likes Anacrusis, and you know, like
the diehard people.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt your closing thoughts, but
no, it's fine. So I'll just share the scores real quick. So I gave it the higher score. I gave it an 8.13. I feel like that score could always fluctuate depending on my mood or whatever, you know. Kevin gave it the lower score. He gave it a 7.18. So together the score we gave it was a 7.65. So pretty dope. I don't have anything else to say, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was fun for you guys. I
did a prog metal album last time, so next video I'll do a power metal album, and then I'll do a non-prog, non-power metal. Maybe I'll do Unexpect, maybe I'll do, you know, Hypocrisy, maybe Biomechanical. I don't know, we'll see. But you know, if you got to this point in the video, we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know.
Thanks for picking this album, though, bro.
Yeah, honestly, I think you did like it more than I thought you might, though. Especially the drums too. Like I thought that some of the start-stoppy or some of I knew that it had moments that didn't flow that well, some weird transition parts, and I thought that those might be like, you know, glaring parts for you of being like, you know, but you really dug it, you know, and that was kind of cool.
This album is a pretty good album, and I think like a 7 is still pretty good.
It's still a great album.
You know, great would be like an 8, but you know, like pretty good. No, I'm messing
that. For me, it's like 5 to 6 is like above average. 6 to 7 is like a good album. 7 to 8 is like a great. 8 to 9 is like near masterpiece, and then 9 to 10 is like masterpiece. That's how I. Okay, Ian,
that makes sense.
But you know, granted, you guys all have your own way of scoring, and we all have our own way. So I guess in this arbitrary, you know, sort of, you know, arbitrariness of scoring and stuff, you know, I don't know. It's fun to see how people rate things and how people like categorize things, and you know, we all like top 10 crap, you know.
Yeah.
Cool. You ready to end it?
Yep.
I'm ready too. See you guys. Do you want to click the button, or you?
You can click the button. You're the one closing it up. Click the button.
I'm clicking it. Bye. That battery must have been the last one that we used.
Yeah, probably.
So I've turned it on already. Okay, so we'll just leave it on and then get going whenever.
And then you'll cut out whatever.
Yeah, man. I don't know why things seem blurrier than normal. Maybe because that picture is actually kind of blurry. Yeah, the actual CD picture is blurry, so that's the reason why. That makes sense. I think
tricksters.
I think I'm in here.
Am I blurry?
You're not blurry.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Everything's so blurry. I can't see.
you could be my seed. Whoa. Imagine where you are. Okay, I think everything is good. So
Yeah, when you shove it in my face, man. Take it all away.
shove it in my face, man.
Take it all away. We'll take it all away.
It's like what grunge sounds like to people who hate grunge. I love that dude. That dude was freaking balling his brains out. And they're all just like sitting there like, who set you up? So these dudes are from Missouri, huh?
You know,
Alrighty.
oh, their gold is crap. You know, made in Moscow.
In Moscow. In Moscow.
Yeah. Chicken giblets.
Chicken giblets. Yeah. Okay, I think everything is good. Are you pretty much ready, Kevin?
Yeah, I think so. Honestly, you did a good job of finding newer movies because you found Nightmare Alley. You know,
Oh, yeah. I watched it on the plane. I was just like, oh, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then like there'd be like a tiny bit of something, and I'm just like this to mom. You know. Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty, I think I've got this ready. Got that ready. I've got these, everything's good.
Yeah, I'll
I think
let you
just get a little
start.
slurp.
Your little snort. Would you like some Rudume 53? I'll take a snort.
I'll take a snort. What's that from again?
Ken, when he's
yeah,
like the
you're right.
client,
Yeah,
and he
I'll take a
like,
snort.
and then
Yeah. Yeah, and they're all like trying to please him, and he's just fudging with them.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, but he's not all right with the strategy. Ken, this is a strategy we agreed. It'll work. Okay.
Okay.
Because Pete was
Was it Roger that he just agreed to right away,
No,
or was it
it was
Don?
Don.
Okay,
Yeah, it was Don that he agreed
Pete was
to.
giving a bunch of
He's
pushback
like,
just
he's
because.
like, I don't know, it just makes people think of crap. You know?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, that. And he's just like, okay.
Because he thinks that it makes people think of poop. He's all like
Yeah.
Ken, we agreed on the strategy. Okay? It's gonna work.
It's gonna work.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, I'm satisfied. Okay, that thing is still blinking red, so it's still going.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take a snort.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, I'm ready. I'll start it off and then go from there. Okay. Hi, welcome to Forgotten Legends of Sound.